guys, and welcome back to Kishorelytics, and I am Kishore. In this video we are discussing about the important concepts of the OOPs. So in this video we are discussing about the polymorphism, access modifiers and encapsulation. I will definitely give my entire knowledge about the concepts, about this concept, and then in this video there are 3 sections and each section contains 2 subsections. So what are the 2 subsections, right? It will be the theoretical and the practical knowledge. So I don't want to take much time of you guys. If you find this video most useful, please make sure to subscribe the Kishorelytics channel. And so sit back and relax. Let's get into the video. Hi friends, in this video we are diving into the polymorphism. What's meant by the polymorphism? The word polymorphism means that many forms. It means there is a form that contains of many forms. Imagine it's like a application form. There is a one kind of template. It can be given to the another many other forms, right? If you go into the college for putting the applications, there is only one template. That's a name, student, student name, class, age. That's all. But it can be xeroxed by for many purpose. It can be given for many peoples. So that's like the polymorphism works. And in programming, it refers to the methods. What's mean the methods we are discussing in the previous video? It refers to the methods, functions, and operators with the same name that can be executed on the many objects of the classes. Okay. Yes. Polymorphism, nothing but you keep it in the mind. It's many forms. In programming, it can be methods with same name that can be executed on many objects. Okay, that's all. You don't worry about anything. This cannot be often mostly used in the programming. It can be used for only developers. Don't worry about that. It cannot be used mostly in analytics. Okay, for knowing knowledge purpose, the methods can be a same name that can be executed on many objects and classes. Let me show you an example in upcoming session. So what's mean the function polymorphism? An example of the Python function that can be used on different objects. Yes, string is an object and tuple is also an object. Dictionary is also an object. So what's mean idling, right? An example of the Python function that can be used on different objects is the len function. Okay, for let me take an example of string function. For string function, len returns a number of characters. For strings, len returns a number of characters. It returns a integer data type. The output will be in a integer data type. So let me take an example of x is equal to keeping the x and giving it as hello world, and let me print the len of x. It will print the 13. I think it will print 13, right? So for strings, it will print 13 as the output. Let me write output. I will show the coding practical knowledge as well. I will be giving a theoretical knowledge as well as the practical knowledge, so you can able to understand what is mean the polymorphism. And in the next section we are discussing about the iteration and something about. Okay, fine. Now in this session we are focusing on only on the Python polymorphism. So don't worry about that. Keep in mind, polymorphism means many forms that can be many same name with for many objects or classes. Okay, so don't worry about that. I will explain quickly. So what's mean the tuple? Tuple can be enclosed with this parentheses, and it cannot be duplicated. And it cannot be immutable. What's mean the immutable? If once created, it cannot be modified, right? So for tuples, it returns the number of items in the tuple. It will return the number of items inside the tuple. So output will be, let me create a one tuple that's made by the my tuple and giving the tuple elements as the number items as the apple, banana, and cherry. Okay, inside the parentheses, and inside the parentheses giving it as the strings. Okay, let me print the len of my tuple. It will print as the output as a 3 because there are 3 items in the tuple. So it will return the items, number of items in the tuple. Okay, fine. And in the dictionary, what's mean the dictionary is based on a key value pairs. So don't worry about that. We will this can be often used. So don't worry about that. And for dictionary, it returns the key value pairs. It's what's mean the dictionary? Dictionary means it stores the values in the key value pairs. So see, here is the key. It is a value. So for key, it will storing the values. Okay, So we are creating the dictionary. This dictionary is equal to brand Ford and model is equal Mustang and year 1974. It will print the as the output as 1 because there is one dictionary, right? Yes, that is the one dictionary that will print the output. So don't worry about that. This cannot be used. This cannot be mostly used. This cannot be used itself for it's a basic, right? For Python, polymorphism is an object-oriented programming language, so it can be used with a class of class only. So why can be used in this dictionary tuple strings? So this is very simple. In industry, they can be used with classes and objects. So don't worry about that. I will explain quickly and simply and clearly. So what is mean the class polymorphism? Polymorphism is often used in class methods. See, it can be mostly used in class methods where we can have the multiple classes with the same method name. So yes, where we can have that. So I telling in the start of the video, it can have the multiple classes with the same name. So it's the main advantage of the polymorphism. It's the meaning of the polymorphism. It's the definition of the polymorphism. Okay. For example, we can have the three classes: car, boat, and plane, and they have a method called move. So I will give the example as we are creating the class and def init. Init means we are explaining the previous video. Go and watch the previous video. And is initializing the self and brand and model. Self dot for argument meaning self dot brand is equal to brand. Self dot model is equal to model. Passing the values and it will be given from the user. So okay, first of all we are creating the def move method of self and it will print drive. Okay, fine. And I'm creating another class as boat and giving the same self dot brand is equal to brand and self dot model is equal to model. Okay, so don't worry about that. I will explain in the practical knowledge of the video. So def move of self print sail. The boat will sail, right? Sail in the sea. It will sail in the sea. Yes. Def move of self is equal to it will print sail. Class same for plane and same. It will plane will fly, right? So see here, what means the polymorphism? We are creating the move as we are see move is will be in both three classes, right? Move of it car in the car class there will be a method, right? Move, and in the boat class there will be a method, right? Move, and in the plane class there will be a method called move. There are similar same name that can be used in different classes. That can be the polymorphism. It's mean a template. The answer will be vary, but it being a template. Okay, we are giving the in technical words it can be telling as a overriding, right? And see, yes, it will print and creating the object for the car, object for the class and car class or car. Okay, so don't worry about it. And creating the object for the class car and creating object car1 is equal to car of and giving the brand as Ford and giving the model as Mustang and creating the class for boat and giving the passing the self brand and model Imiza and Touring. What about I don't know about cars. So don't worry about that. And it's mean plane, not a panel. It means the plane one creating the object as plane one and giving the passing the Boeing and 747 as a model, and it will print, right? We are creating a loop for these models and giving I want to print only the inside the methods print. It will Python don't consider polymorphism. It will say it will be in the same class. It will be in the class. We are just giving the arguments. It will goes to the object and give what will be in the object, what will be in the class. It will definitely print whatever in the class. Okay, for creating iterator for x in we are giving the car1, boat 1, plane 1. It will go to car, boat, plane, planets. Whatever in the car, it will print the move function. In the move function, whatever will be printing in the move function, it will be print. So yes, that's mean the polymorphism. Okay, Kishore, that what about the classes with the child classes with the same name? Can we use polymorphism there? Yes. If you use the polymorphism above and make a parent class as a vehicles, we can make car, boat and plane. Sorry, we can make the cardboard plane and the vehicle, and we can I will already tell technical word name override, which means we are overriding for example take an example as a horse, and we are overriding, right? Overriding means we can write the same class, okay? So keep it in mind. That's all about that. And yes, we can use make a parent class as called vehicle, and we can make the child car boat plane as a vehicle parent child class, okay? So creating the parent class, and we are giving the same, it will car will move, so I don't give anything. So without we want to know, we are already know that if we don't know, you don't give anything in the class, we just put the pass as a keyword. So it will keep the, but it will encourage the vehicle class. So that's all about that. And we are creating the class boat of we are incorporating the vehicle and def move of self, and we are printing the sail. So then we are creating the class plane of vehicle, and it will be encourage the vehicle, and creating the method move, and it will be printing as fly. So same thing, same output will be uh, printed in the class, right? Same thing will be printed as the output. And so let me show the output as the following from the following session. And child class inherit the properties and method from the child class. Yes, it's a child class car boat plane or the child class that inherits all the properties from the parent class. So let me give the example. See here we are creating the class. It means the inheritance concept as we are discussed in the part 3 video. So please make sure to watch that video. See, vehicle is a parent class, and we are creating the car boat plane as a child class. So don't worry about that. I will explain about what is the parent class, child class, and boat class. Parent class are nothing but it's mean by hierarchical structure, parent child. So we are inheriting the properties from the parent, right? So that's come the parent class. See here is a there is a method called definite of, we are passing the arguments of brand model. So we are inheriting that, and we are printing that, only creating the move, it will be sail, boat will sail, and plane will fly. So that's all about the inheritance concept. In the example, in the above example, you can see the car is empty, but it inherits the brand. So if you want to given the class as empty, you should pass the you should use the pass keyword, right? It will inherit the bow class. That's all about that. And the boat and plane class also inherit brand, model, and move from the vehicle. But they both override the move method. They will both override the vehicle, because each uh, see here we in the board class uses only this method. It cannot be used this method, because here it is overriding. So that's because the polymorphism, we can execute the same method for the all classes. So if you give the same class name as a multiple methods, it will use what the class is in the what the class and what are the class inside the methods that can be used for the creating the object. Okay, I hope you are able to understand, right? Let me give the practical example of this Python polymorphism. Yes, guys. Yes, let me give you a practical knowledge of the Python polymorphism. So in the theoretical session, we are discussing about the Python polymorphism. What means the Python polymorphism? It means a polymorphism means many form. It can be new. So what to be keep in the mind, right? If you are interviewer ask what is mean the polymorphism, you should know. You should tell something about. Yes, Kishore told, right. Python polymorphism means by many forms, and it can be used with many class names with similar methods. Okay, similar methods means we can use the same class names as the multiple methods. Okay, that's all about the theoretical session. Let's move on to the practical sessions. We are creating the variables as the x and giving the passing the sugar. I know my guys what is mean the sugar. So if you don't know about the sugar, please make sure to watch the first video of this course. So we are giving the sugar as the hello world print. Here we are printing the len of the x means it will print 12. Okay. And for tuple, we are creating a tuple. I already explained what is meant with the tuple. It will print len of my tuple. It will give the 3 as the output. So for creating the dictionary, it will print as the output as 3. Let me continue the practical session of the Python polymorphism. Here we are creating the class for the car, and in the class car we are giving the two methods. We are using the two methods that mean with the brand and the model, and it will print the brand and the model, and it will what the car does. It will move, drive, ride. So yeah, basically it will move, drive, anything. We are creating the method as move and passing the self, giving the same as arguments. So it will print drive. And in the another class we are creating the class for boat, and it will also have the same name as move. See here also the move, but the boat will sail. If see here also we are creating the class plane. The plane will fly, the same name as move. Okay, so we are creating the object for the car one, and car of we are giving the brand and model as brand and model Ford and Mustang as a brand and model. So let me create a object of for the car, boat and plane, and creating that for x in car, boat, plane. It will print the x. It will see the output will be drive, sail and fly. So it will don't worry about that. What means we can create the multiple class name with same names. So whatever in the calling the class, inside the class whatever the move, that will be print as the object, that will be print as the output. So don't worry about that. So it will be often used in industry. So let me give another example for the inheritance. We can create the object for the we are creating the parent class. So it will be the same thing for that, and but it will be print Ford, Mustang and move, and Ibiza, touring, 20, sail, and brand will be fly. So that's all. We are inheriting the vehicle as a parent class, the car, boat, plane as a child class. That's all about the theoretical section of the Python polymorphism. Let's move to the another session. Hi friends, in this session we are seeing about the access modifiers in Python. So what is meant by the access modifiers? So I tell about the access modifiers. What's mean the access modifiers? If you ask to me, I would tell about access modifiers. It's a type of approach to access the class. What kind of approach to accessing the class? In access modifiers, there are three types in Python. So what's meant with it? Public, private, protected. If you ask in Java, it can be types of four: public, private, protected, default. So we have advantages of the Python. So already I dealt there are in Python there are more type of advantages, but access modifiers also has the big advantages. And unlike some languages, Python doesn't enforce access control strictly. So what's meant with the word, exact meaning of the word enforce means it doesn't allow. If you yes, the teacher said to the student, right, you should confirmly do that. You should confirmly do the homework. You should confirmly take the assessment. We are forcing the student, the teacher forcing the student to do that. That's not in the Python. If you want to do that, it will be for the developer's discipline, for maintaining the code discipline, for maintaining understanding the code and understanding the code for to others. So we are using the access modifiers. So in Python there are three types of access modifiers as we discussed. So what's mean the three access modifiers? So first is the public, and second is the protected, and third is the private. So what is meant by the public, protected and private, Kishore? So if you ask, it can be, it doesn't doesn't important, but I will tell about the interview based answers for you guys. So what's mean the public members? So it's in Python. If you ask in Java, it's important. So in Java, if you create it by using access modifier itself, right? But Java you can be start with public class void main and private. That can be the importance of access modifiers in Java and other languages. But Python doesn't enforce the and access control strictly. So when we ask in Python, it's a big advantages for the Python. If you it's mean by a parent to children. If you do that, if you want to do that, you can do it. The parents are told right. So that's all the access modifiers. So there are three types of access modifiers: the public, protected, and private. You are telling about that name only. You don't know. You don't tell about the definitions on the examples of the public and protected private. So yes, guys, I will tell slowly. So first of all, you know the knowledge of the access modifier, and then after you are, if you know about the public and private, that means your mind able to understand about the access modifiers clearly. So the definition of the public members is it can be accessed from anywhere. In the default itself, it's public. So anything. So if you ask in Java, the default is by public. So no, there is a access modifier which called the default itself. There is a access modifier. So in Python, that's a default is public, and the normal variable of the method name, no underscore prefix, right? Let me tell the about the it can be accessed from anywhere. It can be accessed from file to file. It can be accessed from anywhere. So that's all about the public. And if you ask about the protected members, so the definition of the protected members is it should not be accessed outside the class and subclass. See, it's like the private class, so not a private class. It should not be accessed outside the class. It should not be accessed. If you want to access the keyword, that's impossible. But the Python is the name mangling and it's not enforced, right? So if you ask means Python will give. So it be the syntax for the creating the protected members is a single underscore. So if you want to create the protected members, just use a simple underscore. So sorry, made a mistake, right? So for creating class, my class, and definite of self, we are creating the protected class self. Salary self dot salary is equal to 5,000. It's a protected member. So we are creating a subclass and inheriting the parent class as a my class, and we are showing the salary of self print dot self dot salary. So whatever in the self dot salary accessible in this subclass only, it can be accessed. See, it's a parent class and it's a subclass. It can be accessed within the class. It cannot be accessed outside the class. So that's a protected member. I know. I hope you are able to understand the guys. So technically allowed but discouraged. So what is technically allowed? We can access. I can be able to access. But as we said that Python is not enforced, so we can able to understand. We are creating the object for the my class, and we are able to understand the Python object dot. So giving the object dot underscore dot salary. Python will give. Definitely Python, whatever we ask to the Python, it will definitely give to us. This mean by that not enforced. It will definitely, it does not follow the strict rules. It will, it's for only the developers display. So keep in the mind. So what's the private member? So name angle to prevent the definition, the name angle to prevent the direct access from the outside the class. It can be accessed within the class. It mean be the name to prevent the direct access. It will doesn't give the direct access to the private file. So it can be most in the bank applications, right? That's there. And prefix for creating the syntax for creating the private class is double underscore. So we can give the double underscore. It will be created. So for example, we are creating the my class and giving the creating the methods of the double underscore dot is see here we are creating it's it done. And if you creating the object for the my class and print object dot secret, it will give the attribute error because it will be private class. But we can still accessible like this by using name angle. We are creating that hierarchy manner. It will be give. We are creating the object. With the object we are entering into the my class. With we are entering into the my class, we can be able to access the secret word, right? But it not be recommended, but it is possible. I will show all the possible ways of accessing the classes and methods. So let me are you able to understand, guys? I hope I will give my entire knowledge about the access modifiers, and it will be funny and it will be more knowledgeable, and I will give my entire knowledge to you guys. That's all about the theoretical session. Let's me move on to the practical session of the access modifiers. So now we are in the practical session of the access modifiers. So the first of all we are discussing about the public member. So default is the public. We are already seen about the how to create the class and methods. So that's a public class. So we are creating simply the classes, giving the class name as my class, and inside the methods we are giving passing the self as an argument, and within that we want to access the init class. So we are giving the self dot name is equal to John. It's a public member. We can able to access from file to file. We can able to access from anywhere itself, right? That's all about that. It will print the John. So for creating the protected member, so as we discussed in the theoretical session of the example program, so we are creating that my class, it can be accessed only within the subclass. It's not accessed within the outside the class, but it is possible, technically allowed, but it will be I will discourage to use this method. So see, the output of 50,000, it will be accessed. And for in the private member, we are giving the if you give the hierarchy structure of the class, it will definitely print, but not recommended. It will be possible, but technically it will be possible. If you ask the Python to give the message and give that, it will be definitely give, but it's not enforced. The quick tip for the fellow subscribers, as it's been Python been enforced, it doesn't follow the strict rules or give access modifiers. It's only for the Python developers discipline, and it's will be a name handling. If you give the hierarchy structure, see, it's a name handling, but we can use the hierarchy structure. We are giving the object and giving the my class of double underscore, see, giving the object and giving my class as double underscore secret, it will be definitely printed the word secret word, right, hidden. So what's the use of it? It's only for the developer display and maintaining the code structure and for understanding purpose. So that's all about the access specifier. And so let's move on to another video. Yes, in this session we are discussing about the encapsulation. So before getting leave the topic, let me talk about the general. So do you ever seen a capsule, guys? Yes, the capsule is consist of two layers. It will be in the center. It will be broken, and it will be inside the capsule. It consists of some medicines or drugs. Anything about it. So have you ever seen that capsule? So that comes the encapsulation. Encapsulation is the process of bundling the data. Bundling means grouping the data. It consists of methods and variables that can be anything. We are bundling the data and methods that can be operated on the data into the single unit, like it's in a class. We are using the encapsulation as a previous itself, because in the class we are using the methods and we are creating the variables inside the class. That's mean by the encapsulation. So nothing to it. We are using a technical words. That's all. So that's all about the encapsulation. We are creating a grouping the data and we are bundling the data. So what will be keeping the mind? If the interviewer ask about what's mean the encapsulation in the interview, you can yes, the Kishore told about that, right? Encapsulation is the process of bundling the data. So keep it in the mind. Encapsulation is the process of bundling the data and methods that operate in a single data unit. So it's like a capsule. So as we suggest that it's a capsule medicine that will be wrapped and protected inside. The data will be protected inside. So that's all. So if you ask me to how to study a topic, right, I will ask 4 questions. I will follow 4 steps, right? First of all, I will ask 2 questions. So what is what and why we are using, and the theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge. So for studying this, I've used only the 4 steps, and I will master these steps. So that's all. I will be giving my entire knowledge to you, what is and why, and the theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge in the next section. So the why we are using the encapsulation. So if you ask to me, it will be product the data. So inside the capsule we are producing the drugs and medicine, right? So anything about that. So it will be product the data from unwanted access or modifiers. It will be the capsule. It will be produced from other surroundings. So the drugs should not be affected by any other surroundings. So we are producing the drugs by encapsulating. So that's all about that. Product data from unwanted access or the modifications. So and we are discussed about the access modifier in the previous section. That's an important concept. That's not an important concept, but we are using the encapsulation in the encapsulation in case of the access modifiers, in between the access modifiers, and control how data is accessed and changed. So we are controlling how the data is accessed or changed. We are controlling the encapsulation gives the power to us. Sorry. And it will be maintenance and debugging. It also helps in maintaining and debugging, and it's also support the abstraction. So abstraction will be maybe in the another video, or maybe in the another video in the next week of the video we are dealing about the files. So it's an interesting topic, so don't miss it, guys. And support abstraction, expose only what's necessary. So that's all. Abstraction is nothing but we are process of hiding the essential unwanted information. So if you ask me about what is the abstraction, so if you imagine you are driving a car, you know only about what is steering and what is gear, what is how to use the gear and how to move the car. So you don't want to know about the engine, how the engine works and how the tire rolls, and that's the unwanted information, right? So that's mean the abstraction. So do nothing and to worry. Abstraction is a process of hiding the unessential information from the class. So that's all about the abstraction. So third part, third step, we are giving them theoretical knowledge. So in Python, encapsulation is implemented using classes. We are using the implement class as an encapsulation. We are discussing the many more videos about the classes. It's meant to group data plus methods. See, we are grouping the data plus methods. So we are using the access modifiers in this encapsulation concept, right? So I only we are giving the hierarchy of the classes. We are giving the concepts to you guys, giving the hierarchy. First, we want to know about the access modifiers. Then we know about the master the access modifier, then we have to know about the encapsulation. So that's the process of the course, and I hope I will give my entire knowledge. So please follow the course. And if you need a quick brush up, this course will be more helpful for you guys. Access modifier, and we are in the access modifier we are discussing three classes: public, protected, private. And the public, it will be fully accessible, and protected, it can be internally used, and the private, it will be name mangled. So let me give the example for the encapsulation. We are creating the employee or the class employee and creating the method. We are passing the name and salary to the method, and it will be showed employee. It will give the print the name and it will print the salary. If you want to access and modify the class, it will be print, it will be it can be possible, right? We are setting the salary and creating the method as setting the salary, and we will pass the new salary. If the salary greater than 0, we are modifying older salary to the newer salary. It's if the salary just can't be the negative numbers, so we are putting the invalid salary. So that's a EDAT's employee of John. We are giving the John as the John and salary as the input to the init function, and it will be show. It will be see. It will print the employee name and the salary, and we are giving the so 10,000 plus 50,000 plus 10,000 is the increment. So it's a best company I think ever. 10,000 as an increment for the employee, it's never been possible, but it's possible for the example, right? So we will give that EDAT set salary of 60,000, EDAT show. So that's all about the theoretical knowledge. I will be showing the output to in the practical session, so don't worry about that, guys. Let's move on to the, let's stick on to the practical knowledge of the encapsulation. Yes, when we are ending the video by solving the practical knowledge of the encapsulation. So don't worry about, guys. We are really giving the practical knowledge to you guys. The fourth step is the practical knowledge. For mastering any concept, we are using the four steps. First, what we want to ask what is and why, and theoretical, practical. So that's all. You will definitely able to master that. Okay. So the practical knowledge of practical example of the encapsulation is that the employee and in it. So we are discussing the previous clip. We are setting the new salary. So see the output is the employee, and it will print the John comma salary 50,000, and employees we are setting modifying the class. So it can be possible by using the encapsulation. It can be possible by any other. We are using the encapsulation as a technical word, but we are using the encapsulation in the previous itself. So that's all about the practical knowledge. And I want to you the real world applications of encapsulation. So I created the blank simple bank application for backend. So creating the class bank account, and we are giving the owner name and the balance. So we are passing the arguments as self dot owner is equal to owner, and self dot we are giving C. We are using the private access modifier. Self dot balance is equal to balance, and so creating the another method as deposit. In the bank applications we can able to deposit and withdraw that. So simple, it's been simple. Deposit means we are putting the money into the bank, and withdraw means we are getting back the money from the bank. So don't worry about that. It's been a simple technology, a simple word for you guys. def we are getting the method for the def deposit and self dot comma amount. If the amount greater than 0, we are giving this amount where already that been the amount that will be added to that the amount. That's all. If there is mean 0, if I put the bank to if I put 15 to the bank, it will be added plus 15. So that's all. And if the money can be nothing be negative, so if I creating the condition as if amount greater than 0 and I want to withdraw it from the bank, right? So if the amount between 0 and self dot balance, the amount should be within the balance, it should not be greater than the balance. So that must be important in this condition. So we are minusing the amount from the, if we defraud the amount will be minus from the balance, right? So that's a logic and we using here. And if it will be, if the condition doesn't fails, the else part will be, it will use invalid withdrawal. So I will show the balance to the remaining balance to you guys. So that's all about. And we are creating the object account is equal to bank object. So that's all I'm implementing and entering into the another cell. Creating the account is equal to bank account. We are giving the alias and initial bank balance is 1000. So we want to show the balance. First of all, we are showing the balance. Alias balance is 1000. Okay. After depositing, the alias is depositing 500 to the bank, right? So yeah, there's a thing. So the remaining balances, the balance should be added. 1000 plus 500 is 1500. So it will be shown as the output as 1500. So if the alias will be withdrawing 300, so why he will deposit that 500 to the bank? So that's the logic. I want to show the example. So it's a false by example. We are showing, right, account after sometimes it will be withdrawing 300 from the bank. So the remaining balance is 200. 1500 minus 300 is 1200. And the alias is a naughty boy, I think. So he will withdrawing more amount from the balance. So it will be show the invalid withdrawal. And if we show the balance, right, it will be shown the 1200. So that's all about the guys encapsulation. In this video, we are discussing about the access modifiers and polymorphism and the encapsulation. So these are the most important concepts in the OOPS, and we are discussed in the previous part 3 video. We are discussing about how to create the class and how to modify the class, and that's all. We are giving the entire knowledge of the OOPS concept. So in this Kishorelytics channel, we are giving the entire knowledge of the Python crash course. You don't need to pay a single money for me, guys. If you want a certification, it will be available in the Udemy course. So please make sure to subscribe the video, and if you find this video useful, please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share it with your friends. That's all about the video, and this is Kishore signing up from the Kishorelytics. Thank you.